Imagine a little blonde boy wandering around his dad's workshop. His eyes are wide with wonder as he walks around. As he walks around, he is fascinated by the intricate tools and machinery that surround him. He marvels at the different saws, drills, and other equipment, unaware of the potential or what they could be used for. He will stare at these tools intently, imagining the possibilities and creations he can make with them. In this moment, he is completely absorbed in his own world, not thinking of anything else. That little boy, lost in his imagination and creativity, was me, many years ago in my dad's shop. While my fascination for building and creating with my hands has remained to this day, my understanding for these tools and techniques involved has grown significantly. I was very fortunate to have this provided me as a creative outlet. Throughout my time at Acton, I've had the opportunity to put these skills to use on various projects. But I was always wishing there was something like a shop class to hone my skills even further than just my limited time at home. I would always find myself completely immersed in the process of creating. And it's through this that I discovered my passion and my true calling. About 4 years ago, in that same shop mentioned before, I was helping my dad with one of his projects, and he had just gotten his new Eastwood MIG welder. After showing me how to weld with it, I started using it independently, learning as I went. One of my earliest projects was creating a metal flower. It was a delicate process that required a great deal of precision, but I was able to complete it to a satisfactory level. Another project I'm particularly proud of is a metal guitar. It took a considerable amount of time and effort, but however, it was all worth it in the end because I was able to sell it at one of our school's exhibitions. I've also created a presentation stand to use those same exhibitions to display my work and help showcase it to make it more eye-catching to viewers. But probably my favorite project of them all was my trident. I made it for a book project in my third year at Acton. Although it was one of my earlier projects, it taught me so much about various techniques and tools in the process. Working on this trident allowed me to learn how to use tools such as a plasma cutter, bandsaw, hone my skills on the grinder, and most importantly, progress my skill in welding. This is my favorite project because it was one of the first projects I was able to actually use and play around with. I would spend hours throwing it outside, trying to get it as far as I could. Although you can imagine, younger me didn't get the 6-foot metal steel pipe too far. This is when I realized that I wanted to weld for my career. Just the thought of being able to do this, or something like this, for the rest of my life was and still is an exciting thought. But what makes welding so special? Why did I pick this as a serious career path and not just keep it as a fun hobby? I choose this for two main reasons. One, because I love doing it. It's as simple as that. The ability to form the metal just how you want makes it a fun and challenging process. And two, I want to help create a solution for the unfortunate situation that we have of not having enough qualified welders to fill the needs of the world. Welding has not been a popular career option for young people like me for many years. But why the shortage, and what are the consequences if it isn't solved? With the rise of new industries offering more lucrative job opportunities, young people have been drawn to them. Additionally, the unfortunate thing is that there's been a lot of misinformation surrounding the welding salaries and job opportunities in the industry, leading to a negative perception of the profession. I feel I'm very blessed to have access to the tools and machines to discover how much fun I would have, as well as discover my passion in welding. In today's world, many young men and women miss out on the opportunity to learn these skills like welding and just building overall. These valuable skills not only teach how to work with their hands, but also instill important qualities such as hard work, grit, problem-solving skills, and the understanding that math is an essential part of the real world. All things I was able to learn throughout my experience. Sadly, the absence of these creative outlets has been taken over by mind-numbing entertainment. This has caused many young people to miss out on the lessons that come with being creative with their hands. But now, imagine a world where young boys and girls have all of the resources they need to create whatever their minds can dream up. The possibilities would be endless, and the knowledge they could gain would be immeasurable. As I pondered this issue, I realized this is my true calling. I want to help children develop their creativity and problem-solving skills by providing them with expensive tools and potentially dangerous ones. To achieve this goal, I will start the Wandering Workshop. This organization will be dedicated to equipping young kids with the tools they need to explore their imaginations and build amazing things. This will help make the trade arts available to as many young men and women as possible. This gives young people something meaningful to do with their time that isn't just screens. What we'll need to do is have trailers filled with all sorts of tools and equipment that they can use to unleash their creativity on the world. These tools will be used to make amazing projects. Some of these tools include things like chop saws, table saws, orbital sanders, hammers, nails, drills, screws, screwdrivers, and many other tools that I won't bore you with listing. Giving these tools to the next generation is another step closer to making the next generation a more creative and innovative one. By doing this, the things you can learn in the Wandering Workshop wouldn't be confined to the dark corners of high school shop, but available for all ages to build and create together. This will empower the next generation of innovators and problem solvers by giving them the tools they need to succeed in a rapidly changing world. But what makes the Wandering Workshop different from any other traditional shop class? Let me explain. This program is specifically designed for small, non-traditional schools that are unable to provide a full shop, meaning that young learners will have the access to a unique blend of creative learning as well as leadership development skills. Through hands-on projects and collaborative activities, students will learn how to think critically and solve problems creatively. The idea is something I believe will change the world. But what's it going to take to get there? It's going to take a lot of work and someone qualified to lead this charge. Not just a welder and creator, but also a successful businessman. For the past little bit, you've heard me talk about the end goal. But what needs to be done to get there? For this to happen, I need a plethora of resources. These resources include connections, funds, and knowledge. Connections, so I can create a team of master tradesmen to be guides for the kids at the Wandering Workshop. Funds, for the tools and physical equipment, and knowledge, for me to progress my knowledge and become a successful welder to help the kids and create this Wandering Workshop. What makes me qualified to do this? Well, for the past 6 years of my hero's journey, I've had the privilege of attending Acton Leadership Academy. In those 6 years, they have been wonderfully challenging and have fostered tremendous growth in me. During this time, I've had the opportunity to grow in grit, hard work, leadership, mindset, and even time management. Though I will continue to work on these traits for the rest of my life, as proven by my growth I've accomplished over this past year in my Launchpad studio. I've become more accountable to my peers, taking greater ownership of my education, and learned to manage my time even more effectively in just this past year. This is the reason I can do it. As mentioned earlier, my long-term goal is to establish a successful welding business and create the Wandering Workshop. However, I need to enhance my welding skills to achieve this goal. Although I've been self-taught so far, I realize I have much to learn. Therefore, I need a teacher and mentor to guide me in the right direction in the industry research. In my research, I found Lone Star College welding classes, which offers over 300 hours of training in 4 distinct types of welding. These include shielded metal arc welding, gas tungsten welding, and shielded metal pipe welding. The cost of the course amounts to $7,000. By obtaining this certificate from the course, I can take my welding career to the next level towards my dream of establishing my business, and I'm eager to start soon as soon as possible and not waste any time. I promise to attend and complete this course with excellence and have my certificate earned by this time next year. I also promise to enroll for the course by April 10th this year and continue learning and interviewing 10 more welders throughout this year. But I also want to give back. When I become a successful businessman and welder, I still plan to work closely with Acton schools as a mentor and a helpful resource for people in the position I'm in now. As I continue to be a lifelong learner and grow in grit and determination and integrity, I want to leave you with a quote, and if you don't remember anything from my talk other than this, I would still consider it a success. Tucker Carlson once said, "Anything made by our hands is the purest expression of our creativity." Thank you.